Is Graham Potter under any pressure, do you feel?
He has to be under pressure. Last season was, in the second half of the season, I gave him a lot of grace. He picked up and inherited a mess. And we had a pre-season now. We've had some players in, and I'm seeing the same rubbish I've seen for the past 2 seasons, and nothing's changed. And when he's picking certain players, that's on you. Like, he's dropped the exciting, fast youngsters, and he's picking players that need to be out the door. So he's putting himself under pressure. He doesn't need to put himself.
Let me just come in here. Dan, let me just come in here because I know a lot of West Ham fans as well, and I know it's been painful for you guys over the past few seasons. Because I look at West Ham and I say, you've got some really good players. But then the brand of football is not exciting how I remember West Ham with like the Canios, Joe Coles, Jermaine Defoe's, Michael Carrick's. It's not like that no more. I look at West Ham and I say to myself, what do you really expect? That's what my question is to you. Where do you really expect to be to have a positive season?
Look, at the grand scheme of things, I expect West Ham to be challenging for Europe every single season. That's why we left Upton Park. That's why we moved into that awful stadium. I expect that. Right now for this season,
Upton Park was an amazing stadium.
It was. And I'm glad you remember us playing better football because it's so long ago. I don't think anyone else remembers it because we've been playing so poor for so long. It's just boring, sideways, passing nonsense.
If they was playing good football, but doesn't get into Europe, would you be happy with that season? Or do you have to get into Europe?
I don't think we have to be. Listen, if we're challenging for Europe, I'm happy, right? There's got to be a vegan, there's got to be a balance. But if we're going to be down here anyway, we might as well be down here playing entertaining football. Why are we playing boring football and being in relegation battles? That's unacceptable. And this is because of the squad we've built, right? We've built a very slow and aging squad. It's really quite. I look at Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth lost, but wow, what an exciting, fun team to watch. What a well-run club they are. They're everything that I want us to be, and they're like 10 times smaller than we are. 10,000.
I don't know about 10 times, but can I say you've lost Kudus, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Gerard Bowen, who I loved watching him play. He's plays with that fire in his belly all the time. You've got Paquetá.
But Callum Wilson.
Yeah, but at some point, those players, I know they're diehard, especially Bowen. I know he's a diehard West Ham boy, but at some point they're going to be saying, "I need to move on because I want to win stuff."
That's a bit harsh. Yeah. You're talking about his best players moving on. It's like he wants to rebuild.
Yeah, Ricky, it's just reality, though. It is reality. I'm sorry.
Look, you're not wrong, and it hurts to say it, but Bowen, he committed 8 years of his future to West Ham. Loves West Ham. He's literally married to the club, right? For Danny Dyer, literally married to. But there has to be a point where he looks at it and he goes, World Cups and England call ups, and he carried us last season. He's probably the reason we're still in the Premier League. We have to give him more. We can't expect him to do it all by himself. Paquetá, he has to really pick up and improve himself. But we have to add better players to the team, and we're not giving him enough. So I can't blame him. We had Rice. We didn't add enough for him, and he went. We really are just a badly run football club, and we are in danger of going backwards, and we will eventually go down if we go in this trajectory. And we've got to win.
We can see some of the tweets around the bottom earlier on. They were talking about Potter out by October. Realistically, do you think he'll go before Christmas?
I think if we're in danger, the big thing is with Potter is they've got a deal in place where if we let him go at the end of the season, we don't have to pay compensation. So I think Sullivan is really going to consider that, and it's only if we are in serious danger and pressure.
Chelsea home, Forest away, Spurs home. What's this? Palace? Is it Palace home? Everton away, Arsenal away is your next 6.
If we come out of them games with no points, right, or like a couple of points, there's no way he can stay in the job. The pressure's going to be too high from the fans. So it's feasible. It is feasible. Sullivan will resist the urge to try to sack him, but it gets to a point where you have to pull the trigger and he has to go. And I don't see how sacking him solves anything. Bring someone else in. It's the same bad squad. And it's the same bad ownership. and we're no better. So I don't see what changes.
We've got to let you go because we've run out of time,
Thanks,
but
Dan.
hopefully we're going to speak to you when
Love the
you're
honesty.
feeling a little bit happier next time. Thanks, Dan, for joining us.
So there we have it, my Sky Sports appearance, talking about Graham Potter and the ownership, well, which I insisted on getting in there. Obviously, as you can see, I had to get it recorded off the telly. Shout out to my mum and my brother who got that recorded and sent that over to me so we can all see it. I really wanted to get across the issue we're having with ownership with Sullivan. I don't know how much they was interested in speaking about that, but I was very much interested in putting that across. You know, I was on the Overlap, talked about it, I've been on TalkSport, talked about it, now Sky Sports talked about it. As much as we can get the message out there through the media of how badly we are run, you know, it can only help us and put pressure on Sullivan and make his life miserable. And that's the objective. Expose him in the media for the fraud of an owner that he is. I'll link it down below. We've got the petition to get him out. Whether that will listen, it's just one more thing to make his life difficult. But yeah, I was grateful for the opportunity. Obviously, I'm doing this Fanalist thing. I know everyone was like mocking the name. Oh, Fanalist, what is this? It's an app called Fanalysis that we're a part of, and they call us Fanalists. It's no big deal. It's just marketing, mate. Like, if you're getting triggered by a word that's made up, have a look at yourself, right? We're just using the app, and they got me the opportunity, so I'm happy to go on there as a Fanalist, right? So yeah, grateful for the opportunity. I talked a little bit, and I went to try and go on about expectations. Don't get me wrong, as a West Ham fan, I'm not expecting West Ham to be in Europe every season. But because the whole point of us moving stadiums was to be in Europe and challenging and to progress, then I'm holding this ownership to those expectations. I'm not going to be happy with mid-table like we would have been at Upton Park. Just play good football and get, a mid-table every season. That's no longer acceptable. Now we've given up so much to be here. I'm damn right I'm saying we need to be challenging for Europe every season. If we're not, then there's a problem. We're asking questions. We need ambitious owners. There is no ambition to go and be that club. Karen Brady's coming out and saying about PSR restraints and we've got to worry about PSR. Well, we're fans just like you and we really want to do whatever it takes to do what's best for the club. But they're not. Go and do stuff that Chelsea and Villa are doing. Sell your women's team to yourself. Sell your training ground to yourself. Sell whatever we've got to ourselves like Chelsea and Villa did. Get round it. Or if need be, take the points deduction. Build a brilliant team that's going to be brilliant. A young, quality team that's going to be quality for years. And take a one season, was it 4 or 5 points deduction? Nottingham Forest did it, and now look where Forest are. We can't do it. Where is the ambition? Nothing changes with sacking Graham Potter. That's the frustrating part. It's cathartic to have a manager sacked when he's doing a bad job, right? You feel like justice has prevailed. We've got him out. He was doing a horrible job. But the root issue is still there at West Ham, and that's David Sullivan. That's the root issue. So until we get him out, I'm not going to feel any type of way about Sullivan Potter getting sacked. I may get to a point where I say he's got to go, but that doesn't mean we're going to get someone better. It's very unlikely with David Sullivan. We get Sean Dyche in, mate. We know it. Steve Cooper. These are the names we'll end up with, and it will all start again. We're going to have another manager come in, and we have to write off the rest of the season under him because he hasn't got his players. He needs a pre-season, and we piss away another season, wait till the summer, and we start again. All the teams that have leapfrogged us, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Forest, now Palace, Bournemouth, Brighton. These were all teams that were in the Championship while we've been in the Premier League. We had that short little purple patch in Europe and we never built on it. And that's all it was ever going to be. Everyone that's talking about you should have kept Moyes, this was coming no matter what. If a West Ham fan says we should have kept Moyes, then you don't believe David Sullivan is the issue. You believe it's a manager issue and not a Sullivan issue. And you're part of the problem. Because you let him get away with it. And he loves fans like that. He wants all the attention to be on the managers. He wants everyone to look at the managers. That's what he does. He signs managers, he throws them under the bus. He does not want this negative attention. And you're allowing it. Every time you go, we should have kept Moyes. We was heading in the same direction. It's Moyes' last season. We was getting slapped 6-0, 5-0. And we was playing the same crap sideways, backwards football. We weren't even playing like the earlier Moyes stuff, the counter-attacking. Like that quick, fast pace I was playing in 2020, 2021. We was playing this sideways, backwards passing under Moyes, under Lopetegui, and under Graham Potter now. So again, look at the common denominator. His name is David Sullivan, and he's got to get out of this football club. And we have to make our voices heard.